Uh, we, the lessons we learned in World War II have been incorporated into what we call the New Army, and we have new weapons now and improvements made on weapons that we did have in World War II. Of course, there's a great improvement also in our rations, our equipment, and things of that nature. This ration that I have here is a new ration which has just been issued to the troops in Korea, and it's called an assault ration.
This is the ration a man receives before he goes into an attack, right?
That's correct. This ration is very compact. As you can see, the cans are small, and it also is a very good ration. This makes up one meal, and if a man is going into an attack, he can put these in his pocket and carry them along without any trouble at all.
Well, what do we have here, Chuck?
Well, this is a cracker and cookie unit in this can, and this can contains some type of meat, and there is a great variety of different types. This particular one is pork and apple sauce. This packet here is an accessory packet and contains cigarettes, matches, chewing gum, coffee, sugar, can openers, and things of that nature. It's a very good ration.
Yes, it is. Very complete, isn't it?
Yes, it's very complete.
Well, now later on, he's backed up by more complete rations, isn't it?
That's true. This ration doesn't take the place of his regular ration, but it's strictly a supplement, just to carry into an attack where you want to have something light and not be weighted down.
Mm-hmm. Well, getting back to the 1st Cavalry Division, the action you saw, were you with them when the Chinese came through back in November of 1950, Chuck?
Yes, I was with them at that time.
Is that where you were wounded?
Yes, I was wounded there and also captured for a short period of time by the Chinese. You see, our regiment was operating separately at that time, and we were surrounded completely by the Chinese and had a 12 to 14-hour battle. We were so greatly outnumbered that the battle went in their favor, and we were finally forced to withdraw. And the Chinese, as I said, were all around us, and they set up roadblocks on our routes to withdrawal. And I was eventually wounded several times, and being unable to walk, I was placed in a tank. And this tank later had to be abandoned, and because of my wounds, I couldn't keep up with the rest of the people, and I was captured by the Chinese.
How long were you a prisoner, Chuck?
Well, I was only a prisoner a very short time because I had a chance to escape through a freak, more or less, and I did make good my escape and got back to the American lines the next day sometime.
What's the most important support your rifle company received, Chuck?
In my opinion, Carl, it was artillery by all odds. Artillery is something that you can depend on at all times. You can get artillery on a moment's notice, and through the communication system that they have now, it's very fast and very accurate. They can get a lot of fire on a very small target immediately.
Mm-hmm. Well, Chuck, we salute you and the men of the 1st Cavalry Division. But now let's get back to the story of the Korean fighting in March of 1951.
By mid-March, the renewed United Nations offensive is rolling steadily forward, nearing the 38th parallel. Members of a 7th Division reconnaissance patrol strike northward through land from which the communist forces have been withdrawing rapidly, but in good order. The tank-reinforced patrol finds little opposition from the retreating Reds. Communist resistance, which had previously been stubborn at many key points, now seems to have collapsed in most areas. However, their withdrawal route is studded with anti-tank mines and booby traps. Mine detectors sweep the narrow roads. Engineers repair a road dynamited by the retreating Reds. The collapse of communist resistance below the parallel seems to indicate that the Reds hope to prepare their spring offensive in North Korea, unmolested by UN ground attacks. The blasted area is quickly restored, and the patrol continues toward the boundary line. Enemy casualties are low as the communists, pulling back mostly at night, carry out their retreat according to careful plan. In its dash toward the parallel, the patrol passes through many gutted villages, visual testimony of the toll of war. One tank wallows in a stream, disabled by an enemy mine cleverly placed at the stream ford. Although time is precious, an attempt is made to tow the disabled tank from the water. Operating on a strict schedule, the patrol is attempting to reach the 38th parallel and return during the daylight hours. The tank bogs down in midstream and has to be abandoned. Loose equipment and removable armament are quickly stripped from the derelict tank. Near the parallel, red rear guard positions are raked with .50 caliber fire. A few miles short of their objective, the patrol finds a demolished bridge blocking further advance and heads back to report on enemy activity in Concord.
Those were the events that comprised the big picture from February 20th to March 20th, 1951. Our thanks to Lieutenant Charles Wright and Sergeant William Taylor for being with us. Next week, the big picture will again show the United Nations offensive. You'll see our paratroopers landing near Munsan. You'll see Republic of Korea troops in action. You'll see the strength of an 8th Army infantry tank team. From Europe, you'll see the activation of SHAPE and hear a message from General Eisenhower. And again, you'll hear from 2 combat veterans who saw, as it happened, a part of the big picture. This is Captain Carl Zimmerman inviting you to be with us then.